Okay, so you're here with Jab Straight Boxing Talk, and we're going to talk about David Benavidez versus David Lemieux, which is Saturday, May 21st, so tomorrow. And I'm just going to let you guys know what I think about the fight, who's going to win, and just a couple little things that I noticed. First of all, you can see from the picture that David Benavidez is huge compared to David Lemieux. I didn't know that there was that much of a size difference, but David Benavidez is about, they list heights, but I've noticed that they're wrong a lot of times. David Benavidez is like 6'2", 6'3". David Lemieux looks about 5'8", 5'9". He's listed at 5'9", maybe even 5'8". There's a huge height difference. Now, David Benavidez does look pretty thin, but he looks in really good shape. So it's not like he looks dried up at all. He has energy, and I don't think he's dried out at all for the weight. David Lemieux does look pretty full. I'm sure he doesn't really have to cut very much. So, and he's moving up to 168. I think he had one or two fights before this one at 168. So he's kind of accustomed to the weight. He may have grown into it, maybe a little more muscular. A lot of people who move up, they got a lot of fat around the midsection, trying to gain that extra weight. But we'll see how he looks, and I think that I should say we'll see how he looks on fight night when he rehydrates. But I think that Lemieux actually has a good left hook. He throws his punches with reckless abandon, like he wants to knock somebody out on every single punch. David Lemieux's defense definitely is not the best. He does do a good job of getting his head down and tucking his chin sometimes, but he is open for a lot of shots. David Benavidez, really big guy for 168, doesn't have the best defense. I don't know if he does that because he doesn't respect the power of the other person, but he gets touched up a lot. He doesn't really keep his hands up. Sometimes he just comes in with his hands down, like, go ahead and hit me because I'm going to get off a bunch of punches on you. He wears his guys down. He might, since he's fighting Lemieux and he throws those big hooks, he might, put his hands up a little bit more to block those shots. I hope he does. I hope he's looking for the right spacing, so that he can avoid those punches, those winging punches coming from the smaller guy. And if he does that, it should be a pretty easy fight for him. If he just keeps the spacing, doesn't let the smaller guy get in there and just tag him, man, he pushes him on the ropes, puts his weight on him, and backs him up and pumps that jab out, I really don't see Lemieux being able to get to him. Now, if he just doesn't respect Lemieux's power and just thinks that he can just take all of his punches, I don't know. He might get caught with one. He might get caught with a big left hook. So, I will put a couple dollars on Lemieux just in case he does get that big punch, because Lemieux would have to win by knockout. But I definitely will put my money on David Benavidez. He's a monster, and he just wears guys down. He beats guys up. He seems like he's a career ender. That's what I feel like. When I see people fight him, I feel like their career is probably not going to be the same. They're probably going to rethink what they want to do for a living. And, just remember that beating every time they think about going back to the boxing gym. I think he turns guys into electricians, waste management, a computer job. something where they don't, some kind of job where they don't have to use their body at all anymore because they just think about that beating every time they go to work out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I definitely have David Benavidez on this small chance of David Lemieux getting a knockout. It's very small chance, like a $5 bet type chance. So I will put my money on David Benavidez, even though the odds are terrible. It's like 1,400, 1,600. You're not going to win any money if you bet on David Benavidez, but maybe bet on the round for the knockout because I believe it's going to be a knockout either way. So bet on the round for David Benavidez. Maybe the sixth, seventh, eighth round. I think if he's going to get him out of there, it'll probably be around there because Lemieux does gas around there. I noticed that with the Rosado fight. So look for the 6th, 7th, 8th, maybe 9th round for the knockout. If he can get past that, he might be able to last. So, all right. Peace out.